Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Serrano. Welcome back to the channel. Now, if you're new to the crew, make sure you subscribe, get notified. But if you're already a part of the crew, salute. Now, today we're going to be taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy A30 on my right. And on my left, we have the Samsung Galaxy A32. Now, let's talk about the displays, the storage, the batteries, the performance, the weight of these devices, the cameras, everything of that nature I want to touch on as well. Also the performance, things of that nature. So we could just, cover these devices and see how much of an improvement that we got over the last 2 years from the original Samsung Galaxy A30 to the Samsung Galaxy A32. Now, both of these devices are pretty similar. They're going to match up pretty well when it comes to performance. They both have 4 gigabytes of RAM, and what happens is that we get 128 on the A32 and 64 gigabytes of internal storage on the A30. So that's the biggest difference when it comes to the storage, but the memory, the performance, everything is pretty much the same. We did get Gorilla Glass 3 on the A30. It tends to have at the front of this display, I do have a film over top of it to protect it. It's an AMOLED display. And we do have an AMOLED display on this one with 90 hertz. So that's the biggest difference. But you will notice that we do have no fingerprint sensor on the back of the A32. They're both going to be 6.4 inches full HD displays as well. Now, when it comes to the processing chips, we are getting, the Exynos 7904 on the Samsung Galaxy A30, which to me runs like a champ still in 2021. We do have an older version of the Samsung UI with the Android 10 on here. So if you go to info, you can see that we have 2.0 UI running on this one with the February 1st security patch. Now, it's a lot easier to unlock the Samsung Galaxy A30 with that rear mounted fingerprint sensor versus the one that's inside of this one, embedded inside of the display. But they both do offer facial recognition, which is actually pretty cool as well. So I really like that. Now, I don't have a screen protector on this one, so I should actually put one. Wait, do I have one on here? I think there is one on here. I can't really tell, but let me just show you the software that we're running on this guy. We have the 3.1 on here versus and it's Android 11. So that's the biggest difference, is that you're gonna get a newer software with the Samsung Galaxy A32. I believe that the A30 will get upgraded to Android 11, but that's gonna be I'm not sure when they're gonna announce that officially. But as you can see, they both are running pretty good software on these devices. We do also have touch to wake on both of these devices, and you can see that they both have that Infinity U display, which is actually pretty cool with facial recognition inside of it as well. So on the A32, there is a lot of scratches on here that you could only see in if you put this in direct sunlight. My lights in the studio aren't bright enough to capture that, but you could only see the scratches in the sunlight, which is cool because even if you do scratch it, you can only see it in broad daylight. I can't see it right now unless I put it at an angle and really show you, but they're micro scratches. You barely ever see those. Gorilla Glass 3 on this guy, I've had a case on this thing the entire time I've been using it, so there's no scratches on here whatsoever. This is the Samsung Galaxy A30, so just keep that in mind. But I will be looking into getting some cases for this guy, but it looks like there's a ton of scratches on here. I'm just not sure if you could see that, or try to do some B-roll so you can actually see that a little bit better. But they both have a pretty decent build quality. We do get identical button placement on these guys. So we do have the power button beneath the volume rockers on both of these. They're both plastic edges, but with the exception of that Gorilla Glass, now they both do have the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, as well as Type-C and speakers and noise cancellation mics down below. On the left side of these guys, you're gonna see the exact placement of the SIM ejector tool, we do get 2 nanos and 1 SD card slot. And at the top, we do get noise cancellation mics on both of these guys as well, which is kind of cool. Now, when it comes to the feel in the hand, the A30 is going to be a lot lighter. It's 165 grams of weight on this one versus 184 grams of weight on the A32. So you will feel a weight difference as well as a battery difference. So we do have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery on the A32 versus on the Samsung Galaxy A30. So I have glasses on, so it's really hard for me to unlock these sometimes because of the light that I'm in. But let me know down below what you think about the overall screens. Now, these are all the way up on full brightness, and you can see that they're AMOLED displays, so they're gonna look super saturated, super punchy, super colorful. And when it comes to the screens, they're the exact same size, 6.4 inches. We do have a super AMOLED display on the Samsung Galaxy A30 and an AMOLED display on the A32. They do look almost identical when I'm looking at them to the naked eye, but the A30 is gonna have 403 pixels per inch right here and 411 on the A32. We're gonna get a very high density display on both of these guys. They both have really high pixels per inch as well. Like I said before, 411 on the A32, and you know, it's gonna be 403 on the A30, the original one. So they both have really good performance when it comes to displays and things of that. But one thing you want to note is that the you're gonna get that 90 hertz on the Samsung Galaxy A32, whereas you only get the 60 hertz display. So if we go into display settings right here, and I'll show you right now that when we go into the display settings, and let's say we go into display on both of these, they look a little different because we got the 2.0 versus the 3.0 software. So here it is. You can see right here, we do have adaptive screen brightness, it's the same, but they do give us motion smoothness on this guy. We don't get that on the, I'm talking about on the A30. So you can see right here that they do offer like a way you can change the color tones on here on the A30, which is on the right. But just to let you guys know that we do have that 60 hertz and 90 hertz on the A32 to make it a lot smoother when you're scrolling. Now the feel in the hand of the Samsung Galaxy A30 is going to be a 19:9 aspect ratio versus the newer 20:9 aspect ratio on the Samsung Galaxy A32. So it's a little bit more narrow when you're holding it in your hand. I could still wrap my fingers all the way around both of these things, but like I said, the aspect ratio is going to be a little bit more narrow on the A32. I did notice zippier performance for some reason. I don't know if that's the screen animations. Let me see if I have the animations removed on here. Advanced. So you get flash notifications on the back of this guy. When you turn those on, you can do so. But if I go into accessibility, I should be able to turn off, like or into developer options, you can turn off the animations. But this guy it seems like it's a lot smoother when I'm using it, even though it's a more powerful processing chip. We have the G85 MediaTek processing chip on the A32, which is actually an upgrade from the Exynos one that we're rocking on the A30. So just keep that in mind as well. So essentially what they did was they put a 12 nanometer processing chip on this one, which is the Samsung Galaxy A32. They give you better performance, and you can still get into your game launcher on this thing right here, so you can get access to your games and things of that nature. They have it on this one as well. So this is I'll update this later. But you can see you can launch all your games with this thing, and all your games will be here at the bottom, and they have them listed here, so you could check those out. But they do have a way you can launch all your games. Now, they did update the storage on the A32 as well. So if I go into storage and I go into like a device manager down here below, right here, I could go into storage and I could show you that we do have 128 gigabytes to use on the Samsung Galaxy A32, but on the A32 we have 64 gigabytes to use. So you could always clean those up. You could clean up your different settings here and manage the storage. But like I said, right here it does say that we do have it does tell you everything that you have here. So 128 gigabytes of internal storage on this one, and you could always manage that. But I really do like the fact that these both have at least 64 gigabytes of internal storage. So this is double what the A32 has, but both of these displays look absolutely gorgeous. I definitely like the Gorilla Glass 3 though on the Samsung Galaxy A30 versus the A32 not really having a certification for Gorilla Glass. But honestly, they both are gonna perform pretty nice for the price. Both of these devices are pretty snappy when it comes to just opening up apps and things of that nature. So let's try Play Store. So that was the A32 on that one. Let's try Samsung Gallery browser. So that was the Samsung Galaxy A32 as well. And you can see that, you know, it's still loading on the A30, but, you know, pretty similar performance. But I definitely like the upgrade that they did with the 14 nanometer to the 12 nanometer. So like I said before, you're getting, you know, a better processing chip with the A32 right here. It's going to give you the ARM Mali G52 for graphics. And on the Samsung Galaxy A32, we're getting the ARM Mali G71. But, you know, I'm talking about, it does have a better clock speed when it comes to the Samsung Galaxy A32. So just keep that in mind, that you will get better performance on that one because it's clocked in at 1.8 versus the 1.6 on the A32 when it comes to the other 4 cores. So I really do like both of these devices. Now, when it comes to the cameras, we are getting some similar features on both cameras. So right here, let me just show you, we do get live focus right here, but on this one, they call it the portrait mode, which is kind of cool. So I like how they did that. You get wide angle on both of these guys. So let me just read the camera does actually look a little bit better on the A32 as well. It's a lot more detailed. So we get video, we can show you all the modes right here that we get. Slow motion, pro mode, panorama as well, where they did add a night mode and a macro mode in addition to the wide angle that they had on the Samsung Galaxy A30. We do get AR emoji as well, and you can switch to the AR zone. They also do let you customize your AR emojis on both of these things. So what I did was I definitely did that. I went to the I went right here where I can actually customize my own AR emoji. And what they did is I just took a picture from my phone and it automatically made this guy right here, which is cool. So you could share that with friends and family and things of that nature. So I kind of like both of these devices when it comes to that. They got these little cool emojis that you could definitely check out, use to your own personal preference, to your own personal liking. So I definitely like, I look at that on the left, that's crazy. So yeah, they do have the AR emojis on both of these things, which is pretty cool. So I definitely like using both of these devices. Now, when it comes to the cameras, they're gonna be both pretty good. We are getting gyroscopes on both of these devices. There's NFC actually on board on the A32 as well. So we do get Dolby Atmos as well on both of these things. And it does tell you you have to be connected to your earphones via the Bluetooth or the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So you would have to have those plugged in, or you would have to have those connected. So I definitely like that as well. But if you go into your more options right here into settings, you can see that we do have NFC for the connections. When we go up here, so you do see we get the mobile payments and things of that nature on the A32. They don't have that on the A30, but we do get hotspot, things of that nature. So I definitely like both of these devices when it comes to, you know, the mobile payments will be, you will get that on the A32, but you won't get that with the NFC feature on the A30. So we do have a 20 megapixel camera on the A32, and we have a 16 megapixel camera on the A30. So just to show you what that looks like, I'm gonna go back and flip it around so you can see what I'm talking about. But this is the 20, this is the 16. They both look pretty sharp, just to be completely 100% honest with you. You get that wide angle for group selfies, which will actually make it a lot easier. Then you get that live focus to adjust the bokeh intensity in the back and everything of that nature. When you go into video, you're gonna get 30 frames by 60. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Right here, you can change it to 30 full HD or HD on there. And here, it's gonna give you the option. You have to go actually into settings to do it right here up top. So you can see what I'm talking about. So I think it's a little bit more user-friendly on the A32 because you don't have to go into settings to do that. But you get that night mode on the A32, like I said before. But as far as the performance, there's a little bit of stutter. I'm not gonna lie on both of these devices, but nothing that's gonna make you go crazy or anything like that. So we definitely have some good games that we can launch on both of these devices. I really like the performance on both of these things. But when it comes to the rear facing cameras, we're getting a 64 megapixel main camera on the A32, as well as an 8 megapixel for wide angle, a 5 megapixel for portraits, and another 5 for the macro shots on here. On the Samsung Galaxy A30, we're getting a 16 megapixel standard and a 5 megapixel secondary camera. So you know what I'm saying. So if you go here, you can see that if you were going to photos, you get this secondary lens for bokeh and things of that nature, and it actually turns into a wider angle. So that's a wide angle camera right there. And I like how they did that, because now you can, it goes up to 4 times zoom and everything like that. But I definitely like the fact that you are able to, change that. You also do get this scene optimizer mode, which allows you to get that AI as well on this thing. So they both have that AI scene optimizer. Now the fingerprint is a lot quicker on the A30, but it does have better technology, newer technology. So like I said, you will be enjoying both of these. You get the scene optimizer, and look, this thing did actually bug out. You can see it's bugging out right now. So let me reopen that back up. But every once in a while, I will notice that this thing starts wigging out. So we get that scene optimizer on the A32, and we get that on the A30 as well. So both of these devices are really nice when it comes to the price. Now, when it comes to the performance on the Samsung Galaxy A32, we're getting that G85, which is definitely going to be pretty good for gaming on. It's coupled with that 4 gigabytes of RAM with the G85, so the performance when it's coming to gaming is going to be super smooth. I'll definitely do a gaming test very soon on this thing, but you're gonna notice very smooth performance no matter what you do. It's gonna be super smooth on the G85 processing chip, coupled with the 4 gigabytes and 128 gigabytes of external storage as well. So I really do like the graphics on this thing. It's just gonna be a really solid experience. So you're not gonna experience much lag on this thing whatsoever. Now the A30 is definitely going to give you some pretty good performance as well. That was one of the upsides of this device. Overall, it just performed really good. Wow, for the price, and I was really a big fan of it. And it definitely had some really good performance. Now, is it going to be the best one that I've ever used in the entire world? No, that's not going to be the truth or in any stretch of the imagination, but it definitely will get you through. You will be able to game on here with the 4 gigabytes coupled with the 64 gigabytes of internal storage, and you can expand the external storage with an SD card slot. So both of these devices are going to be good for performance in 2021, but they definitely upgraded it on the A32 a little bit more. But I like the fact that they added NFC on this guy. I wish they would have kept the Gorilla Glass 3, because I do see you know, scratches on the back of it or on the A32, but this one has Gorilla Glass 3, so it seems built a little bit more stronger. We do have a bigger battery cell on the A32 versus the A30. We also do have more storage as well. We also have the 3.0 Samsung UI versus the 2.0, which is gonna make for a better experience. You do get Android 11 versus Android 10 on these guys. Both of these things, this has an AMOLED display, this has a Super AMOLED display. They both have facial recognition. But you know, like I said before, they're gonna both really be good. Overall, they have the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. The maps was really smooth when I was using them. So I had no issues with the GPS on either of these guys. You know, photos came out really good for both of these things. So I was able to get some really beautiful sunsets at nighttime on the A30. And I was able to get some beautiful sunsets on the A32 as well. So Samsung just does a really good job with the color saturation and color science. You could see they both just do a really good job of capturing detail when it comes to like taking pictures. I like that they included the wide angle on the A30 as well. But both of these devices, I think, are still, a lot of people still have them. The A30 sold, I believe, 9 million units altogether, 9.2 million units. So I think the A32 will do just as good. But let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll get right back with you later, crew. Peace.